Hello and welcome to WINOL Games.
Coming up on today's show,
Reviewing the latest addition to the 007 franchise,
we give our first impressions of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3,
and the next big release, we look at Bethesda's new powerhouse, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The iconic 1995 film GoldenEye has once again been remade for the console scene.
Hand it over! If you insist.
Following the actions of everyone's favourite secret agent, James Bond, this time portrayed by Daniel Craig, and his rival Alex Trevelyan, GoldenEye takes us from deepest Siberia, a destructive tour of St. Petersburg, and into the jungles of Africa.
First things first, we both come from a generation that grew up with the film and the game for N64, so there's a lot to live up to, and it doesn't really meet expectations.
There are a lot of small problems that kept on nagging at me as I played. The inability to jump, not being able to swap out your Walther for another gun, and the AI always knowing exactly where you are.
The game plays a lot like the original in terms of aiming and firing the guns, and that is a bad thing.
In general nostalgia, it helps. But shooters have evolved since 1997 and shown us how reactive and easy to use games have become. To play something that feels a decade old is nothing more than tedious.
And unfortunately, tedious is how we describe most of the game. Open combat either becomes incredibly frustrating as wave after wave of enemies attack you,
or boring as killing them becomes more of a chore than fun.
Boss battles are either slow-motion quick-time events or battles of attrition. The final boss consists of 2 separate quick-time events, and open combat involving him tanking 50 shotgun shells to the head. Talk about an anticlimax.
That isn't to say that GoldenEye doesn't have its moments. The split-screen multiplayer is as fun as it was in the 90s. The Golden Gun makes its appearance, and you can play as pretty much any character from the series, including Oddjob.
Who throws a shoe?
Wrong film, wrong film.
For me, the moment when you recognise scenes from the original takes me straight back to Christmas Day in 1997. The smell of turkey, the wrapping paper, the filthy toilets with khaki-dressed men.
Don't worry me.
If you're a fan of the Bond games, then by all means get it, but if not, you might find it a disappointment.
On to the big game released this week. It's the latest in the hugely successful Call of Duty series.
The symbols you have always looked to for strength are smouldering in ruin.
There was a midnight launch in Winchester last night. How could WINOL Games miss that? I'm here at a midnight release of Call of Duty's Modern Warfare 3. Time to get on the end of the queue. Well, that was an epic. But I've got my game, got my free poster. It's time to play.
I'm really impressed with some of the detail that they've added to it.
Yeah, pretty much everything you do has an effect on something. Things will get destroyed, bullet holes will appear. Everything you'd expect in a current generation game.
And Manhattan looked amazing as a setting.
My god, it really
did.
So far, it's as fun as it's always been. You know, a great hope for Call of Duty. Although it is better getting kill streaks and death streaks, isn't it, Graham?
Yes. It looks good. It plays well. And whilst it doesn't bring much new gameplay to the table, it's still a great addition to Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the Modern Warfare series. The latest addition to the Elder Scrolls series, Skyrim takes up the mantle of the epic RPG. Its 2006 predecessor, Oblivion, opened up a world into the almost limitless possibilities of guilds, fraternities, and religious sects.
Sure, the Elder Scrolls world is full of NPC characters with about as much depth as a teaspoon, and the voice variation of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but Skyrim promises to remedy the situation. Rather than stilted conversations about the weather and meetings at the local tavern, NPCs have been given daily tasks and schedules, in which we can take part, even get our own jobs.
Because that's why we play games, to work. Farmville.
Another main draw of the Elder Scrolls series is the chance to indulge the kleptomaniac inside. If you don't steal absolutely every single thing you come into contact with, you ain't doing it right.
The unadulterated joy you get from breaking into a house, stealing everything, and then selling it back to the owner. Well, that's at least 30 hours of gameplay right there.
Skyrim also has a graphics engine to outmatch both Oblivion and Bethesda's other recent series, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. The vast forests and countryside have been rendered in astonishing detail, and the various settlements are no longer cut-and-paste clusters of houses with the odd castle or church.
Combat is vastly improved too. Enemies actually react to your furious sword slashes, and once enemies die from the new special finishing moves no less, they won't ragdoll completely and go down like a sack of dead mud crabs.
Aside from the improved sword and shield combinations, you can now have 2 swords, a sword and an axe and a staff. Not to mention the spell weaving. In a Bioshock 2 style gameplay mechanic, spells can now be cast with one hand whilst wielding a weapon with the other.
Spells can also become much more powerful by using both hands to combine the effects.
Oh, did we mention the dragons? But you just hate it when you leave your dirt hovel, only to be encased in a fiery tomb. Damn dragons.
The Skyrim world truly is infested with the reptilian rascals. Not like pigeons, only scary.
I'm actually afraid of pigeons.
Why?
Rats with wings.
You've been watching WINOL Games. See you online.